Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Charu Swami Niti Namine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane. Prabhu, Hindi या अंग्रेजी?
हिंदी में इंग्लिश
हाँ?
Hindi translation is going on. Radha Prabhu.
अच्छा, Hindi translation. Okay. First thing, let me say I felt very inspired hearing Daivi Shakti Mataji, Chandramoli Swami, and now Shrutakirti Prabhu. Thank you for your wonderful glorification of Bhakti Charu Maharaj. Shrutakirti Prabhu told a really interesting story of how Prabhupada cried when he saw this disciple who reminded me of the opposite story in Hyderabad in 1975. One who was a sannyas disciple of Prabhupada suddenly came there, entered. I wasn't present, but I heard it secondhand. He entered the room, he was intoxicated, and he started speaking something crazy. So Prabhupada said, Brahmananda Maharaj, show XYZ Maharaj to the door. So there was both, you know. Bhakti Charu Maharaj sent me to, just like he sent you, he sent me to Mauritius in 1992 to speak at Janmashtami in Hindi. So I remember 5,000 people came. Then later on, I went back in 2007 and 50,000 people came. Bhakti Charu Maharaj was the GBC for Mauritius and South Africa. I guess that's now the remote past, long time ago. But because of that, he had a lot of disciples and followers in those places. And Bhakti Prem Maharaj still goes, right? South Africa. Mauritius, you go there also? Okay. Couple devotees are here from Mauritius. Because of Bhakti Charu Maharaj sending me, I ended up going 6 times, but haven't been there for quite some time. Boy, what can I say? This project, 9 months, what was it?
20 days.
9 months and 20 days. It's remarkable. Who can do? And what a crowd, huh? On Sunday, how many people are coming here? And how many brahmacharis are here? How much preaching is going on? Book distribution. So certainly these are the activities Prabhupada, but it's going on all over also. Right? Prabhupada inspired. But one thing Prabhupada, my own observation, that although his Guru Maharaj asked him to preach in English in the West, Prabhupada wanted to preach in India more. He gave more importance to preaching in India, even though he spread the movement all over the world. He spent all of his money here in India. Right? Juhu Temple, they were sending 7 lakhs a month. Was a lot of money 50 years ago. And well, Bhakti Charu Maharaj's biggest project is this project. And most successful project. So yeah, I started attending the Vyas Pujas. Memorable, what can I say? Maharaj, taking prasad with Maharaj was the most memorable. Who pointed out that he cooked, I think it was Chandramoli Maharaj, right? In New Vrindavan, he cooked. That was one of the great qualities of Bhakti Charu Maharaj. Not only he was a connoisseur of prasad, and we saw those of us who were fortunate enough to take prasad with Bhakti Prem Maharaj. We remember, he used to serve so many items. And that culture we saw in Bangladesh earlier this year. I went for 9 days, first time after 50 years in India. And wherever we went, there were at least 10 sabjis, at least 10 sabjis, every day. So that culture, Gaudiya Vaishnav culture, is really in Bengal. And Bhakti Charu Maharaj was the personification of gentlemanliness and the Bengali Vaishnav culture. Maybe that's why Prabhupada promoted him so rapidly. I spoke about that a little this morning, that we Westerners, we didn't have a good upbringing in our child. I don't want to talk about it too much because it's embarrassing. It's all, meat eating, intoxication, gambling, and you know what. And it's the opposite of gentlemanliness. And Prabhupada taught, he made hippies into happies. He used to say like that. But what does hippie mean? You're confused. You don't know really what's the goal of life. And Western culture, whoever's not following Vedic culture might be China might not be in the West also, but they have no goal in life. And Vaishnavas, their goal is to serve Krishna somehow or other. Some service, engage everyone in the service of Krishna. So that Vaishnav culture, Maharaj exhibited in his lifetime. And those qualities he's passed on to the disciples, as we see here. Everyone is welcome. This hall is too small. Oh, what else can I say? Bhakti Charu Maharaj came to our Baroda temple and he saw the gir cows. And he said, please send me some cows. So we sent. So he had that affection for cows. Even in the DeLand property there in Florida, they have some gir cows, 1 or 2. They're not breeding the cows, but they have. So, wow. Madhavatiti Bhakti Janani, Jatana Palana Kori. These festivals are the mother of bhakti. Today is also Haridas Thakur disappearance. Yes. And somehow this Maharaj fixed every year September 17th as a Prabhupada Memorial Festival. And these glorifications of Prabhupada, and they go on here for some days. So it's very nice. And Haridas Thakur is Namacharya. And the Holy Name Festival is starting today. Bhakti Charu Maharaj was famous for his bhajans, his sweet voice. And wow, if you hear those songs, you become ecstatic. Bhajans were very sweet. These things we need to we can remember. the Abhay Charan. This is also my Radhanath Maharaj was kind enough to come with me to the hospital and meet my mother in 2002 in Los Angeles. I don't know if you remember that, Maharaj. Later on, my mother came to India and she spent her last 1.5 months watching Abhay Charan on a small, 12-inch laptop computer. And she passed away after that. So she spent her last 1.5 months watching, Bhakti Charu Maharaj's magnum opus. He worked for years to produce that. And she said, I never knew about Prabhupada's life until I saw this. And she was really impressed. My mother met Prabhupada in Evanston in 1975. So he touched her life. Actually, she said she told me, she said, tell Krishna to take me at the end of her life. So she was also touched, even though she wasn't really a regular devotee, but so I have to thank Bhakti Charu Maharaj for, inspiring my mother in the last days of her life. And I'm sure the Abhay Charan videos have inspired quite a few people about the life of Prabhupada. Well, who's going to read 6 volumes, or 7 volumes was the original, now it's 1 volume, Prabhupada's Leelamrita. Some people say it should have been Charitamrita, but whatever, the biography of Prabhupada. But who will read it all? It's not so easy, but if you watch the video, everybody loves videos. Seems like that. And Prabhupada had encouraged, right, devotees to do dramas. There were the Vaikuntha players. I remember in New Vrindavan, 1973, the Vaikuntha players put on, dramas there. It was 51 years ago. So, yeah. Prabhupada inspired Bhakti Charu Maharaj. And this Abhay Charan is a proof he was a Prabhupada man. He wanted to glorify Prabhupada. And, well, Prabhupada glorified Krishna. And this temple, such beautiful deities, Radha, Madan Mohan, Lalita, Vishaka, Krishna, Balaram, because this is where they studied with Sandipani. Deities are so beautiful, very attractive. Prabhupada's mission was Radha Krishna deities all over the world. Krishna Balaram 50th anniversary is coming. I remember being there. I guess that was before, Bhakti Charu Maharaj came on the scene. But I remember seeing Prabhupada in a bicycle rickshaw. It's hard to see a bicycle rickshaw now. Huh? They eliminated them with these electric machines. But it was a grand program, grand festival. The opening here was equally grand. I didn't remember Chandramouli Maharaj was here, but that was a great story, Maharaj. And it was a huge crowd. But I remember that Bollywood actress came and there was a huge, surge at that time, for that. But that's what attracts people to festivals, when there's a big name, when there's a big, public figure. And when Bhakti Charu Maharaj was here, all the local leaders, they used to come and present him with some gifts on his Vyas Puja. Well, those days they weren't in the remote past. It was just a few years ago. So keep it going. Keep up the good work. Spreading the movement, the youth preaching. Like I said yesterday, Bhakti Charu Maharaj saw that this was a very important activity. He understood and he encouraged it. And well, here they are. The youth is the future of ISKCON. Youth is the future of ISKCON. We're getting old. Every day we get the news of some god brother left his body. Today, Kutichak, you knew Kutichak, right? Yeah. Sad story, but we all have to go. 77, he made it to 77. Had some interaction. So yeah, when Maharaj called me on the phone a few days before he passed away, I think he was in the hospital, and oh, it was very sad. But as we were reminded, it's transcendental, right? And we don't lament too much, because as it was said, he reasons ill who tell that Vaishnavas die when thou art living still in sound. This was Bhakti Vinod Thakur. What was it? Yesterday, right? Yesterday was Bhakti Vinod Thakur's appearance. Right? So he wrote this poem. He reasons ill who tell that Vaishnavas die when thou art living still in sound. A Vaishnav dies to live, and living tries to spread the holy name around. So Bhakti Charu Maharaj came at a little later age, 19, I was 17 when I joined, and I don't know, a lot of us joined very young. But Bhakti Charu Maharaj was what? He was about 30? 31. At our age, that's a young man now. But in ISKCON in those days, when everybody was a teenager or in his early 20s, somebody who was 30 was a lot older. And Prabhupada, picked him up and made him one of his leaders, one of his generals. Senapati, right? Senapati is the leader of the army. And Senapati Bhakta. You've heard this expression. So for sure, Bhakti Charu Maharaj was one of Prabhupada's Senapatis, one of his generals. One of the important qualities is to encourage others. To encourage others. What is it? Amanina, manadena? So, empowerment. This is an important thing. And Bhakti Charu Maharaj, see how he empowered these young men to take over the Ujjain project. And they're doing a good job. Doing a good job. Have to give credit where credit is due. So empowerment, he set that example also, Bhakti Charu Maharaj. He empowered the youth, encouraged all of these brahmacharis to preach. And for sure, I'm sure that they will make him proud by expanding the mission in Madhya Pradesh. Even Bhakti Prem Maharaj still looks like a young man. So enthusiastic to spread here in India. Prabhupada's famous saying was, "I'm just one Indian." And every Indian should spread this mission. So if all of you take it up like Prabhupada took it up, the whole world will become Krishna conscious. There's great hope, Prabhupada said, great hope. And have to be tireless. You have to be tireless. So be inspired by Bhakti Charu Maharaj's life. Abhay Charan, Bengali translations, preaching all over the world, delivering seminars on various topics like Harinam Chintamani. What else? What are the other seminars, Maharaj? Uddhav Gita. You have to pardon my ignorance, but if they tell me and I tell you, so Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Brahma Samhita, Shikshastakam, Sharanagati, the poem of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So Bhakti Charu Maharaj also was a shining light of intellectual activity. He attracted intellectuals by all of his intellectual activities. That should be remembered. That should be remembered. So, thank you all for attending. Thanks to all the senior devotees, particularly Radhanath Maharaj, who's the most in-demand individual in our society, for taking the time and trouble to come.
Haribo!
The enthusiasm of Chandramouli Swami, wow, that was a great, catching hold of Bhakti Charu Maharaj at the opening, and then he's still dancing like a madman, intoxicated by Krishna Prem. And I'm sure Shrutakirti Prabhu is an ocean of Prabhupada Katha that the nectar for which we are always anxious. The nectar for which we are always anxious. And we're all lucky to have their association. And the other Maharajas that came here. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Maharaj, Rajananda Maharaj, and Gopendra Maharaj, and last but not least, Bhakti Prabhav Maharaj. So thank you all for coming. Keep coming. And if you see anything wrong, tell us. We'll correct our mistakes. Asmakam sarvadoshaha kshamyatam. You can learn this. Please excuse my faults. Please excuse. That humility also, Bhakti Charu Maharaj was very famous for his humble dealings with everybody. Friendly, humble, really set a great example. Hare Krishna. I hope I didn't take too much time. Bhakti Charu Maharaj ki
Jai.
Bhakti Charu Maharaj Vyas Puja Mahotsav ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada Memorial Mahotsav ki
Jai.
Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada Senapati Bhaktas who are all present here ki
Jai.
Hare Krishna.